Well, hello, everyone. It is the first part of June, technically, specifically June 3rd of 2024. And Taryn and I had a deal. It was let's get through the Blue Ridge Conference and then we'll start talking about the Florida Conference. And so here we are. We are through the Blue Ridge Conference and all that that entails. Taryn is done with a school year as a middle grade writer. She is so busy during the school year.
Yes.
So we are going to take about 2 seconds to breathe.
Okay. And moving on.
Now we're going to jump right into the Florida Christian Writers Conference, which is, of course, October 16th through the 20th of this year. And we've just kind of laid low. We've sent you a few emails and some newsletters along the way, but we knew that starting June 1st, we were gonna hit the ground running. And so here we are. Hello, Taryn. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry. I'm well. I have to be grammatically correct if it's a writers conference video.
I know. You know what? I was going down the stairwell in Mount Laurel this past week, and somebody said, "Oh, hey, Eva Marie, how are you doing?" I said, "I'm good." I said, "How about you?" Because I'm terrible about, like responding in kind. Right. I'm always so focused on where I'm going next and what I'm doing. Somebody says, "How are you doing?" I say, "I'm fine."
Yeah.
And I'll just keep going. And anyway, I said, "I'm good." And then I thought, okay, Eva Marie, ask how she's doing. So I said, "How about you?" And she says, "I'm well." I was like, oh.
That's right. Superheroes do good. People
That's
do
right.
well.
Whatever.
You remember that.
So, all right. Enough of that. You guys know we do like to have a lot of fun at the Florida Christian Writers Conference, and Taryn and I are always up for a good laugh. So let's talk about that. First of all, if you don't know who we are, I just can't imagine. No, not really. If you don't know who we are, Eva Marie Everson here, director of Florida Christian Writers Conference, and this person to my left or to my right, because I never know where she's going to be.
I'm Taryn Suiters, and I am the co-director of the Florida Christian Writers Conference.
And I don't know that I could do this without her. We also have our wonderful conference manager. Her name is Jessica. And if you were there last year, you know that she had done
that she was not
leading up to it, but she wasn't there because she was getting ready to have my grandchild. So what we're going to talk about today, before we get into, like, I don't know, the weather forecast or something, what we're going to talk about today is what is going on Wednesday, because the conference literally begins on Thursday, but also literally it begins on Wednesday, because we have all kinds of wonderful things that happen on Wednesday, specifically beginning Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock. Taryn, what do we have?
Well, we have a total of, I think, 6 faculty members who are going to be teaching hours and hours of workshops focused on children's writing. And that very first hour, at 10 o'clock, we're going to have Michelle Medlock Adams. And she's going to be teaching on the secret sauce of children's writing. And sauce, each one of those letters means something. And then we also have
something
that stands for something. You'll have to go and find out what it is. And then we have Tim Shoemaker, and he's going to be talking about strong starts and finishes.
So excited that Tim is coming. Of course, I'm always excited that Michelle is coming. She's like a staple at the Florida Conference.
Correct.
Here's the other thing that I really want you guys to pay attention to. We are literally looking at the schedule right now. You need to do the same thing. Go to word-weavers.com/Florida events, click on the schedule, and within each schedule, there's a hyperlink that's going to take you to the name of the person who is teaching. Go look these people up. Do not wait until you get there to do this. And I don't care how many times I say this, how many years I say this, there are still those who wait until the last minute and they go, "I don't know what to do. I don't know who she is. I don't know who he is."
Right.
That kind of thing. But I just do want to tell you this. We only bring in the best. So
we do. And we like to bring in a wide variety. So
absolutely.
We have like Michelle can teach from board books on up, fiction and nonfiction. Tim Shoemaker specializes in YA, and I know that we've got some YA writers out there that are coming. So if you write it, you're going to learn something at this intensive.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's the first hour. Then we're going to go into the second hour, which is 11 to 11:50. Who do we have?
We have Tama Fortner, who's going to be teaching on Devos called Rich, Real, and Relevant, and it's about writing devotionals for kids. And then we also have Rachel Pfeiffer, and she's with Focus on the Family, and they also have Clubhouse and Clubhouse Junior Kids magazines, and she's going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of writing for children.
Excellent. And I was you and we say Rachel Pfeiffer, and I don't remember what he said, but I saw Jesse Floria, who is senior editor at Focus. I saw him at the at the Blue Ridge conference, and I said something to him about Rachel Pfeiffer, and he said, that's not the way she pronounces it. Now I don't remember how he said she pronounced her last name. But at any rate, we're going to say Pfeiffer for now, and we will find out for sure how
We
she
will
says
find
it.
out.
Right, but she is with Clubhouse, and she is with Focus on the Family. So we are excited that she's coming. And again, Tama, I love this, writing devotionals for children. What a great way to get kids started with reading devos daily, and making that a part of their daily walk. But it's starting it when they're kids, they're little kids, instead of waiting until they're older. And now it's like they don't want to start a habit, that they should have started years ago. So, okay, so that is 11.
Right. And then we break for lunch, which is always delicious. And we have a special speaker, and that's going to be Tim Shoemaker. And we will be in the private dining room having just a special lunch and a special time there with Tim.
Yeah, and Tim is such a great speaker, and it just dawned on me, we've got him speaking like 2 hours in a row, so we're going to definitely put him to work there, aren't we?
Yes.
All right, so then go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I believe that's also the time, correct me if I'm wrong, where if you attend the intensive, we actually let you sign up a day ahead of time to meet with authors, agents, and publishers. And we usually do it during that lunch hour.
That's right. Yeah, we bring them in, we lay them out on the table. You can sign up with 2. It doesn't matter. 2 agents, 2 editors, an editor and an agent and an editor. It doesn't matter how you want to do it, but you get that opportunity to sign up with 2. Once Thursday afternoon has gone by and everyone has had the opportunity to sign up, then you can go back in and you can sign up with more of the editors and agents. You can sign up with as many freelancers as you want. But the editors and agents, because of our numbers growing, we have to allow for that. Yeah. So after lunch,
we have Sally Cressman. Yes, we have more classes. Sally Cressman is going to be teaching on rhyme, rhythm, and repetition. So this is really helpful if you're considering maybe writing a board book or a picture book. And then we have Leslie Santa Maria, who is teaching a workshop called Welcome to the Children's Library. And she's going to be covering things from Goodnight Moon all the way to Twilight. So from board books to YA.
Yeah, that's so I mean, 2 great teachers. I know both of them, both of them. They're fantastic teachers. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but Sally just posted on Facebook. She had some really good news about her children's book that recently released. And I know Leslie just had some really good news as well. So again, we're just bringing you the best.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
So then at 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, we have 2 more classes that you can choose from.
That's right. Michelle Medlock Adams is coming back with There's More Than One Way to Write a Picture Book, and she's not lying. There is.
She's done about 100 of them.
That's exactly right. And then Tama Fortner is going to be teaching what a difference a word or a phrase makes. And it's all about word choice and making sure that you're connecting with your correct age audience and all of that.
Yes, because that is very, very important when you're working with children, especially. You don't want to, speak down to them, nor do you want to make use a word that is just not age appropriate, not because it's a bad word or anything, but simply because it's a word that just goes
over their heads
of understanding. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And so then we go 3 to 4, 2 more classes.
2 more. Probably one of where my heart definitely is, and this is called Magnificent Middle Grade, and Leslie Santa Maria is going to be teaching that. If you're curious what middle grade books are, I will give you a hint. It is not middle school. Then you need to check out Leslie's class, and then
Mhm.
Rachel Pfeiffer's coming back to teach from facts to fascinating tips for writing nonfiction for kids.
Yes, and yeah, again, because she's with Clubhouse and she's with
Mhm.
Focus, that is a great way to get your name in. I've said this a billion times. The year that I was working on my first book, I was out there writing devos, I was doing book reviews, I was writing articles for Crosswalk. I mean, just anywhere and everywhere that I could get my name in. What a wonderful way to get your foot in the door. If you want to write books for children, start writing articles for children. Such a
Yeah.
great way to get your foot in the door. Okay, and then from
Our very last round of classes
our
from
last one.
Yes, from 4:10 to 5, we have Sally Cressman teaching one draft, two draft, old draft, new draft, and it's
I love
talking
it.
about, I know, it's great, pre-writing and revising and just making your manuscript the best that it can possibly be, polishing it till it shines.
Mhm.
And then Tim Shoemaker is teaching reaching boys with your writing, and that can actually be a difficult audience to
Yes.
reach.
Yes.
And so he is going to kind of talk about what can grab them, what are the 10 got to haves when you're writing for boys. And then
Yes.
he's also going to talk about
Yes.
the 10 kisses of death that you want to make sure you avoid.
Yes. Kissing in a boy's book reminds me of The Princess Bride.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
this a kissing
Totally.
book? Yeah. And I'm so glad that he's coming to teach that, because so often books are just geared toward the female audience, because the
Mhm.
female audience is the bigger reader. But boys, I mean,
Yeah.
I've got two grandsons. Well, I've got more than two grandsons, but I've got a grandson in particular who just absolutely loves to read. And that just thrills my heart. He has always got a book in his hand. If we can grab them when they're young,
Yep.
it's kind of like that Dr. Seuss, Oh, the Places You Will Go,
Yeah.
and it's not just for girls, it's for guys too. So now,
Well, and one thing I want to just mention here, he also talks about 3 things that women need to remember when they are writing for boys. And so that would be an interesting, I might pop in on that. I have boy main characters, but I'm really curious. I'm like, have I been portraying my boy main characters right?
What
I
are
might
these
pop
things
in.
I need to know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because I mean, if you're writing for boys and you're a woman, you were never a boy,
Right.
and unless you raised a boy, you really don't know those dynamics and the things that
Yeah.
they feel, and
Yeah.
just I mean, just like a guy can't really know what it's like to be a 10-year-old girl or a 12-year-old girl or whatever,
That's right.
So
That's
you
right.
got to have somebody to talk to about this. Oh, I'm so glad he's doing that. Well, right smack in the middle of the day, we actually do open our doors, not only for the people
Yes.
who are coming in for the next day, but also we do have some things for the regular conferees to attend if they want to. So the official time for coming in to the conference to get registered, to get your stuff in your room, et cetera, is 1:30. Is that correct?
It is 1:30.
Mhm.
Please do not come in earlier.
Nope.
You'll just sit there outside the doors, and it's hot, and you're not going to want that.
Well, it's not hot, but
No.
there might be some bugs.
Bugs.
Yeah.
Could be warm.
It could be warm. Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing about October that so many people have said to me is, oh, the weather is just so great in Florida
Yeah.
in October. And it truly, truly is. But the problem is we cannot get you in your room before 1:30. And also because Jessica, who is the conference manager, she will be at lunch. And so, give her a little bit of time to, now she's got a baby. And so give her a little bit of time to get, settled back in, et cetera. But we just simply, we don't even have the keys. So there's really not a whole lot we can do.
So like,
until
let's say
1:30.
if your plane lands at like 10 o'clock in the morning, you don't have to hang out at the airport that whole time.
Yeah.
Feel free to come towards Lake County.
Mm.
What Eva and I recommend, because we really like to do this.
We do.
Go to there's some really cute towns in the area. Mount Dora is where I'm from, and that is a place that I recommend you just go grab yourself a wonderful lunch. It's the cutest little small town.
It is.
Walk around, look at some
shopping.
shops, kill some time. There's a great little bookstore there. They have a bookstore cat Her name is
Yeah.
Paige. So just hang out, and then when it gets to I think 2 o'clock,
Mhm.
2 o'clock, I think is when we can get you.
What,
And we can
1:30, we can get you in,
Oh, yeah,
but
1:30. Yes.
yeah, you've got
Once
from
you're there,
1:30 to
1:30, you're
5.
fine.
Yeah, yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So yeah, there are
just not
definitely
before
things to
then.
do. There's a little Eustis, Florida, also a cute little bedroom community. I call
Oh,
them outdoor
totally.
bedroom community. Yeah, so there are some great restaurants. We have a particular Mexican restaurant we really love. So
Yes.
actually we have one in Mount Dora too. I'm
Mm.
beginning to sense a pattern. So
We like our chips and salsa. What can we say?
do like our quesadillas. We do love our
Mhm.
quesadillas. So
Yes.
yeah. But I mean, seriously, these are two really beautiful, quaint towns. It is on, I think it's Lake Dora. They're on Lake Dora. So even if you
And Lake
just want to
Eustis.
go,
Yep.
yeah, and yeah, even if you just want to go sit and look at the water, I mean, it's just so
Yep.
beautiful there. It truly, this is old Florida at its best. So we're
Yep.
giving you that to do now. Starting at 2 o'clock that
Mhm.
afternoon,
Yes.
if you signed up for the book proposal studio, you can come in to the introductory session. If you signed up for the book proposal studio and the children's intensive, don't worry. This is an introductory session, and it does not necessarily mean that you're not going to miss a whole lot. You're going to miss some things, but maybe it's like this is the kind of stuff you already know anyway. But we do open it up at 2 o'clock from 2 to 5 for the book proposal studio. If you paid for the studio, you can go ahead and go in and get to know Edie. Edie Melson is our
Mhm.
teacher. Get to know her a little bit better, settle in, instead of that whole hitting the ground running feeling.
Right.
Yeah. And what else do we have then?
Well,
During that
we
time, if
have
anything.
at 3 o'clock, starting
Yes.
at 3 o'clock, this is another
yes.
class that you would have pre-registered and prepaid for, and that is to AI or not to AI. That is the
Mhm.
question. And that is going to be taught by Lynette Ethan. So if you are really curious, what
Mhm.
is artificial intelligence? How is that going to play into publishing, into writing, into all of that? You need to come to this class. Lynette is going to teach some ways that you can use AI that are beneficial. She will probably talk about ways not to use AI, things to
Exactly.
avoid.
Yeah.
Hopefully, put some rumors to rest
Mhm.
and answer any questions that you have. So, this is definitely something that is not going away. Every time you
Obviously.
get
Yeah.
online, something is AI generated,
Mhm.
whether it's a picture or whether it is something written or video. So, you
Mhm.
need to get familiar with it. So, we 100% recommend attending this class.
Absolutely. Everywhere I go now, that I mean, as far as writing conferences is concerned, everybody's talking about AI. And there are some fears, there are some concerns, but there are also, the whole group that says this is the best thing since sliced bread. You
Right.
can like brainstorm with AI. If you can't call up a friend, it's in the middle of the night, and you're
Yep.
writing and you're like, I don't know, you can actually brainstorm with AI. So
Yes.
yeah, like you said, she's going to put some rumors to rest, but she's also going to teach you how to use it responsibly and talk about some of the issues that have come up. I know I read an article not too long ago about whether or not AI, if you used AI in your book, in any way, shape, or form, how does that affect the copyright?
Right.
So
Right.
you
Yep.
can talk to her about that. She can share that with you because she is also an agent. She's not only a best-selling author, but she is also an agent, and she's going to be able to answer those questions. Now, another thing that we have from 3 to 5, and this does
Yes.
not cost, this does not cost extra, I should say,
That's right.
it's the pitch studio.
Yes. Yes. And this is taught by Edwina Perkins. And I think this is like, I don't know, her fifth, sixth, seventh time teaching it. Like
Maybe more.
we're like, Edwina, you're coming, you're
Yeah,
teaching it.
you're
And she's
teaching
like,
it. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
She's just so good at it. And
Yeah, she's the
people
champ.
have, yes. And they've said wonderful things after leaving. And there's
Mhm.
there's just a relief that comes from knowing how
Mhm.
to pitch on the fly.
Yeah.
I had recently had to pitch something on the fly, and it went over really well, and it's a great skill to develop.
Yes.
So if you have a finished product, and I think this really is more for if something is finished as opposed to you're just percolating about an idea.
Yes.
I mean, feel free to come, even if you are thinking, but it's really going to be helpful if you have a finished product. You're looking forward to meeting with agents and publishers. This is going to help you kind of collect your thoughts in a cohesive manner and be able to present them, and you won't be so nervous.
Well, and also a project that you're working on, you know, that like
Yes.
I'm working, my whip is almost finished, but if I wasn't sure how I was going to pitch this, and that's what you will do when you sit down with editors and agents, you want to be prepared because listen, I know because I have sat on the other side of that table and I know Taryn has too. We get to this place of all the words are kind of running together, you know, and the people, the faces are running together. So you want to make sure that what you sit down and present to them is going to grab them like that, and they will not be able to forget you. I also had someone who told me at the Blue Ridge Conference that they were on an elevator and there was an editor in the elevator with them, and they said, "What do you write?" And she said, "I gave my elevator pitch on the elevator." So
right.
on an elevator pitch, because you have about that amount of time from one floor to the next to win over an editor or an agent's interest. So that's why it is called that. Okay, then we go to dinner because we're all about eating.
We are indeed.
And then after dinner, we have registration opens back up. So if you're, flying in later in the day, you can come back in and register and get into your room. But we also have our editor agent panel along with our ice cream social.
Yeah, so we call this Coke Floats and Conversation. And so after dinner, again, if you're just arriving on campus at this time, if you're coming from the dining room, whatever, come get settled in your room and then come to the main auditorium. We will hand you either a Coke float or a root beer float, whatever you want. And then everyone sits down and we have a panel, and we usually talk about what's current issues in publishing, and the editors and the agents and publishers all kind of give their 2 cents. And we've done this for the last 3 or 4 years. I think this will be the 4th year. And it's usually a pretty big hit. We get lots of requests to keep doing that. And who doesn't like a Coke float? So
I don't know. Who are these people?
I don't know.
Now listen,
who are these people?
If we need your questions. So we're going to be reaching out to you soon and saying to you, and we really do want you to answer us. What are some of the questions that you have for editors and agents that you would like to have answered? Now's your opportunity to hear a wide variety of editors and agents answering those questions. But wait, there's more.
There is more.
Yeah. I mean, as far as we're concerned, you can sleep when you go home. So
just right. Yeah. Wednesday is a full day. Actually, all the days are full days.
It is a full day.
We have 4 after-hour workshops. Is that what we're still calling them?
After hours? Yeah.
Okay. So we have 4 of them to choose from, and you're again going to hear from some amazing faculty. Our first one is taught by Tina Yeager, and you choose which one you want to go to. And this one's called Overcoming the Mountains of Discouragement, and we all know the discouragement that comes with writing. There is lots of opportunities for rejection and hurt feelings and all of that. And this is just an opportunity for you to kind of learn how you can deal with that. We have Sherry Cowell, who is teaching reprints, writes, and rewrites. And you're familiar with that class a little bit, Eva? You want
very, very, very familiar. In fact, I reached out to Sherry and said, is there any way you can teach that again? Because here's the thing, you got to know what percentage of a work that you can rewrite and then resell it. And she will show you how to do that. So you can take a concept and write about it, change it by a certain percentage and sell it to another magazine or e-zine or, whatever. You cannot reprint the exact same article that somebody else paid you for and then turn around and give it to a second person. But you can take that concept and rewrite it, restructure it, and send it to the next person. Sherry's going to show you how to do that. She's absolutely a brilliant teacher when it comes to that.
Yep.
So looking forward to that for
100%.
you guys. What's the next one? This is one of my favorites.
I was going to say the same thing. So Cindy Sproles teaches us, and this is another one where every year we're like, hey, will you teach this again?
Again and again and again.
And again. And particularly if you're new to writing, I 100% recommend this class. And this is called What Did They Say?
Yeah.
And this kind of introduces you to all the industry lingo that's out there, like POD, POV, WIP, all of this
what
stuff.
Is a whip?
What is a whip? All of these things. And how do you know when you've gotten a good critique? What is a good critique? What's a critique? All of this stuff.
Right.
So 100% recommend going to Cindy Sproles' class Wednesday night.
Because even terms like AI, I mean that if you're not sure, I remember when all of a sudden everybody was talking about chat GPT, it's like, okay, what is chat GPT, but we've all been there where we walk into an industry and they have their own lingo and you're going, I have no idea what they're saying. So, she's going to introduce you to the basics of that. And understand that I'm sure like every year she's having to add stuff because every year there's something that comes along and I go, wow, I don't even know what that is. I'm looking it up, So, I've been doing this for 27, 28 years now. But anyway, we have one more class that night. And this one, I am super excited because this is the first time we've had it taught at Florida.
Yes, and this is taught by Christy Bass Adams, and it is called Am I Ready to Be All In? And this is asking when should I hire an editor? When do I write a proposal? How do I write a proposal? Now she's not going to teach how you write a proposal. That's what the studio is for. But she's going to be what's platform? How do I know if I have a message? She's going to talk about all of these things. So again, this is an excellent class if you're thinking about being a writer and what does that involve. So I recommend Christy's class as well.
And here's what I'm going to say, because after that you can go to bed if you want to go to bed. You can also go across the street to Maple and hang out, and a lot of our people like to do that as well. We should come up with something like Moments in Maple or something like that. I don't know. But it's a lot of fun to hang out in Maple and chit chat. There's coffee machines and Coke machines and whatever else, I think. But at any rate, that is Wednesday. Now, let me encourage you. Go to the website, study these classes, go ahead and circle the ones that you think you want to attend. Don't wait until the last minute. You will regret it. So read up on everything. We've taken the time to lay it all out for you. You take the time to do yourself that favor, study up on it, study up on the teachers, find out who they are. We only bring in the best. So
that's right. And please know the only classes that you need to pre-register for is going to be the AI and the book proposal studio. If we mention some workshops, you're like, oh, I really want to take that. How do I register for that? Once you've registered for the intensive and for FCWC, you just go into whichever class you want.
Just show up.
Just show up. But those two you will need to pre-register for.
Some conferences you have to register, and then when they consider the class full, then they said, well, what other classes would you like to take? We don't do that. Somehow it's always balanced out at the Florida conference. And one of the things I'm always excited about is that I will take, I will walk through just to see what the numbers look like. And every class is always filled. And so I'm like, okay, we're doing something right here. We're doing something right for you guys. And I'm excited about that. Okay. Again, it is word-weavers.com/Florida events. You have another 27 days to register with the early bird coupon, and it's all one word, early bird. And with that early bird coupon, you get all kinds of goodies. You get 20% off in the bookstore. you get $125 off of the entire conference. Now, this is only for full conferences. And there's something else, and I can't remember what it is, but I'm
There's
sure.
the free downloads. You get free
Oh,
downloads.
yes, that's right. The free, the free downloads, you get free downloads as well. Let's see, there was something else I was going to say. Can't remember what it is. But anyway, we do hope you'll register and register soon. Oh, I know what it was. Don't forget, if you just want to come and write, we do have the Just Write
Yes.
option. Yes. You
Yes.
cannot use the early bird coupon or any other coupon with that, because we have literally cut it down to the bare minimum of what it costs us for you to come. But we want you to have a place to come. You can go to the
Yes.
general sessions. You can hang out in your room. You can hang out in Maple. You can go sit out by the dock or on the dock
Yep.
by the lake and just write. So
Yes.
we got that for you.
Also, Eva said $125 off. She meant to say $120 off.
Oh, I thought it was 125. Okay,
well,
well,
the website says 120.
Okay, well, the other $5 will come out of Taryn's pay.
That's right. That's right. My gift to you.
All right, seriously. We
And then
will-
don't forget, we've got the Sunshine Contest.
Yes.
You guys can start sending those entries in. And we've already started receiving some, but the deadline for that, you still have time for sure. It's September 1st, but don't wait till the last minute.
Mm-mm.
Judges don't like that.
They don't. And you're really not doing yourself any favors. So make
No.
sure you got it exactly the way you want it. But the sooner you get it in, really, the better. So
The better.
The judge has more time to read it.
Exactly.
And score it and all of that. So yeah.
They won't
yeah,
feel
I know
so
a lot of people
stressed.
think that they're doing themselves a favor, but they're really not. So, all right. So until next time, everybody take care, enjoy your summer, and we will see you in October.
That's right.